Movement reports that there was no interference. Mike Pence, the response. Good evening and welcome to Lang for Your Buck News, May 9th, 2023. I'm Ben Sion Lang. In politics, the woes of Donald Trump continue as investigators look more deeply into the classified documents found at his Mar-a-Lago resort. Donald Trump has been the continued source of probing ever since he became president with the Russian investigation and being impeached twice, and he is being tried in New York, and again with the classified documents. It is true that anyone who becomes big and says powerful things, it produces a target on your back, and Donald Trump is realizing this. That is the price you pay to become someone famous and someone controversial. In sports, Bob Huggins, who's the current coach of the West Virginia basketball team, formerly a coach at Cincinnati for many years, was asked on radio about his rivalry with Xavier. He said a couple of homophobic slurs about Xavier College. He regretted what he said, at least publicly. Obviously, there are a lot of people out there that try to censor their language when they're on a public platform. And he was not successful in doing that. People have privately prejudice or hate towards various types of groups, and I still think it's very important that public platforms like radio shows and social media continue to censor these things to a certain extent, because if everyone was able, like on college campuses, there's rampant anti-Semitism. If that was available on social media, it really could pose a danger to Jewish people in America. In financial news, the news about what's going to happen with the debt ceiling that it's slowly approaching the United States, the debt ceiling of $31.4 trillion, if it's not resolved in the coming months, it could pose a catastrophe to the stock market specifically. This is reminiscent of 2008 with subprime mortgages and bonds that completely collapsed. One of the biggest investment banks, Lehman Brothers, was closed down at that point, which invested heavily in the stock market. The stock market took a tremendous crash at that point. Of course, the real estate market also. So the stock market started off today on the downside, and if the debt ceiling problem is not dealt with, it could mark a tremendous catastrophe for the stock market. Eurovision International Singing Competition is now going on in Liverpool, England. One of the top contestants is actually from Israel, Noah Carell, who is performing her song Unicorn. She's known for a great song and even more for her great dancing ability. Even though a lot of people on social media say for sure she's going to win, the official statistics, in terms of betting at least, say that she's going to finish probably 7th, which, if you've seen her act, is probably kind of crazy. I think that obviously this has a lot to do with politics. Israel is not viewed very well politically by many nations because, I believe, deep hidden anti-Semitism from a lot of people. It would be a shame that the best act, pretty much by far, is not going to win because of anti-Semitism. There is supposed to be a European Union delegation at Europe Day in Israel. The European Union delegation said that they will no longer come to the event because Itamar Ben-Gvir was supposed to address. Israel chose Itamar Ben-Gvir to speak at the event representing Israel. Itamar Ben-Gvir slammed the decision, saying that European Union, which is known for multiculturalism and democracy, is doing exactly the opposite. Itamar Ben-Gvir, his rhetoric sounds pretty harsh against the Arab community, but so far his policies in the incoming government have not been so drastic, and I think the fact the European Union is not participating shows that a little bit of anti-Semitism, in my opinion.